What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today we're talking about supposedly the final issue of Life is Strange, the comic series. But the last page says the end ... for now. So maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. Who knows? As far as I know, they didn't announce anything explicitly. But yeah, so this is supposed to be the end. And if you've been following my coverage of this comic thus far, you know that I like the first 12 issues a lot, although I had some misgivings about them. The second run has been very slow, very repetitive, not really all that exciting in terms of the plot progression. And for all intents and purposes, part 2 of this final arc, Settling Dust, was the end. We got the conflict resolved. It was wrapped up. Everything that we wanted to have happen happened, and the rest of the comic is just this feel-good, lovey-dovey, really, honestly, cliche and saccharine. That's a good word, saccharine. I'm not a fan of these last two issues, and I think the reason for it is that I cannot think of a single artistic work, a single comic series where the last two issues were harmless wrap-up stuff. Typically, the progression of a story is such that you're building. There's this big release, and then there's a bit of an epilogue, maybe, if you need it. And here we have, half of the last arc is just an epilogue, and typically in epilogues, if it's going to go on for an extended period, you have to deal with something. You have to have some kind of character progression. There's got to be some type of conflict, post-main conflict. If you've read The Lord of the Rings, the extended epilogues there. They had the sacking of the Shire. They had stuff to deal with after the ring was in Mount Doom. You know what I mean? They had things to deal with. There was progression there. We saw the rest of their life story add up. So it's not just like, oh, everything's great now, happily ever after for 2 full issues, man. I mean, we basically had 3 issues of that. I thought the conflict was way too easily resolved in part 2. And it's very convenient. Max just got new parts of her power. And they never really addressed a lot of my overarching issues with this book. And I suppose we'll just jump into it. But that's just my overarching opinion on this, guys. I was hoping I had some hope that maybe this last issue would bring some kind of conflict in, would bring some kind of cost for what they've been through. But that's not what we get here. We get more of the same. And before we get into it, I just gotta say, fuck Comixology, okay? We have to throw this in here. They ruined it. Amazon ruined it. It's Kindle now. Bro, you can't even zoom in, my guy. Look at all this tiny-ass text, dude. There's no zoom function on this website at all. What the look at this. And look at, like, you used to be able to double-click on a thing and it zooms in. And that works for this. Like, see, this is double-click, you zoom in. This horizontal panel here, you double-click on that, it's not at all zoomed in, it's just moved out. Bro, I'm trying to read the finer fucking detail. Do not buy anything on Comixology, aka Amazon Digital Comics to read. Do not do it, they ruined it, it's terrible. I just need to throw that in there. This has been well covered at this point, but this is my first actual use of it. And it's hard to even find where your fucking books are, because I only use the website. I don't use the apps, I just don't have space for it on my phone, so fuck Comixology. Okay, but anyways, we're now in the Chase Space, Victoria's family's art gallery, which we've always heard about. And actually, I think it's cool that we go here. And I do like, just to give it some praise for something, I do like that Victoria ends up, I do like her arc here, that she ends up not insufferable. Because people like that grow up, people like that grow out of their phases, So I appreciate that she's not a total bitch still, and that her life experiences, led to something. So, I mean, I do I do like the new character designs. You know, we have some progression artistically. Even if, to me, their character arcs, like in terms of their personality, their what did they learn? There's no growth with Max and Chloe. There's nothing new or different. I mean, we're just getting lovey-dovey stuff. They think that they can just show, oh, that they're kissing and they're saying nice things to each other. That that's nice on a one-off. But we've had like 3 issues of that at this point. I'm over it. You know, it just is what it is. And yeah, I don't know. I just it's not that it's not exciting anymore. That's the thing. Like when it's new, it's exciting. That's why they didn't in the original game go full relationship, because it wouldn't have meant as much. So that's my thing with it. I don't, you know, I don't need to see it. And yeah, and I mean, this whole storyline, it really could have been like 2 pages. They wanted to do a memorial for Arcadia Bay, and that's pretty much it. And then, you know, Max is saying some platitudes, you know, if all this time has passed, it's time away, prove anything to me, you can't force things. And I was reading that, I was like, she kind of did force the return to this world. So I don't know what that means. You can't force things, least of all acceptance. What did she have trouble accepting? I don't know, dude. It's very corny. I'm not really into it. And then they have this thing where they're gonna do this. We don't know what it is at this point, but at the end, it's a memorial for Arcadia Bay, and that's nice. You know, whatever. And they are on board, but Max doesn't want credit for her photos, which is like, it's literally her profession, her art. The whole point is to get credit for it. You know, honestly, and there's nothing shameful about it. So I mean, I can understand saying, "Hey, I don't want the money. Like, let's donate to a cause." But to say you don't want credit, is that really what an artist would do? I don't think so. And then at the end of this issue, she's like, "I don't want credit for any of my photos, but I'm gonna give a speech." Okay then. Yeah, I don't want attention, but I will take all the attention. But I do like how they say, you know, Victoria is dealing with, you know, I was awful, and you know, we were kids. You know, that's the truth. So I like that bit. Yeah, now we're back in their apartment, and you know, here. Okay, so here we're gonna get into one of my issues with this comic series, and one of the issues I have is that, in all honesty, especially replaying the original game for the remastered collection, which don't buy it, by the way. You can see my review if you want to see my frustrations with it. But one of my issues is that fundamentally, from a character perspective, from a personality perspective, while there is an attraction between Max and Chloe, and they do love each other and they care for each other, I have trouble seeing a long-term relationship with them working, because they have so many personality traits that clash with each other. Max is very, she likes to control her environment. You know, she likes to be calm. She's a calm person. She's not as outgoing. And that clashes with Chloe being very chaotic. I mean, Max thinks cigarettes are gross. This is just one example. Cigarettes are gross. She sees them on the ground. It's like, oh, disgusting. At least switch to e-cigarettes. You really think that she wouldn't express that to Chloe at some point, and that wouldn't cause some type of conflict? I don't think Chloe's gonna stop smoking. At least not in the short term. And she wouldn't respond well to being told to do that. She's not the kind of person who is controllable. She rejects anybody trying to do good things for her. She kind of is also, she's somewhat of a bully, to be honest. And the truth of that nightmare scene when Max meets herself is saying, you let yourself be bullied by her. And it's not as true as the fake Max states it there, but there is definitely a kernel of truth there that Chloe makes Max do things that she is uncomfortable with doing, and that is something that would not work in a long-term relationship. So that's why this kind of lovey-dovey stuff, it doesn't ring true to me, because there may be moments of that in the relationship, and every relationship has moments like that. But that we've seen zero arguments, we've seen zero clashing of any type, and that's just the truth of these characters. If you're honest with yourself, looking at the original game and how the characters are introduced, maybe they change over time, and that's something we could have gotten into. But as the characters were in the original game, there is no way, in my opinion, that Max and Chloe would have really, they would be in a relationship years and years down the line. There would be way too much conflict, and the cigarettes thing is just one example, you know? So that's just my honest feeling on it. And I would have liked to see explore that. I mean, we have this whole comic series about what if Max and Chloe survive Arcadia Bay together, and we don't see them struggle with that at all. We don't. It's just taken as a given that, oh, their relationship is going to work out, which I think is this really romanticized perspective that is not true to life in any real way, and it's kind of unfortunate. It's a missed opportunity. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I'm sure everybody watching this disagrees, but that's just my take on it. Just from my knowledge of human nature and observing people in relationships, all of these personality conflicts are not things that resolve themselves or just magically disappear over time. So that's just the fact of it. But I did like, they have the photos from the other universe. But another point is, it seems like we forgot Max has a superpower where she can look at a photo and go back to that time. If I was writing this comic, I would make her scared of looking at her own photos. Like, she would be worried about accidentally traveling back in time. And again, they also kind of took away that her ability has any sort of negative effect. Her ability in the original game created the storm. Her ability had all these negative things attached to it, and it had all these limitations. There's no limitations in this comic series. She has the nosebleed, but it's just kind of forgotten about at a certain point in writing it. She should have had a nosebleed when she was unfurling the storm or whatever. Didn't have that. I legitimately think that the writer forgot. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I like this, that they have the photos. It's, a nice thing, but it doesn't really do a lot for me. In terms of, like, yeah, we've already seen these characters, seeing Chloe see them, and her reaction to it is like, wow, I'm so happy. This is just not, it's just not who Chloe is, man. She's got borderline personality disorder. She has an issue with blaming other people for her problems. I just don't see her reacting this way at first. Maybe she reacts this way down the line. Maybe she reacts this way at first and then blows up. She has no, like, temper issues. She has no emotional regulation issues. It seems like they kind of forgot who Chloe is with this comic series, in my opinion. And maybe they're trying to do, like, oh, she grew over time. But you're telling me that this character who struggled so long with feeling abandoned isn't going to feel even more abandoned after Max leaves her again? Even though it wasn't Max's fault. It wasn't William's fault that he died in a car accident, and she still blamed him for it. And it's a human thing that it's not logical. It doesn't make sense, but that's just, like, a thing that she struggles with. And she's medicated for this condition, actually. But again, we're just forgetting valuable character traits here, and it's a missed opportunity. So, and then we get this final scene with it's just a bunch of I might as well have not read it at this point. Like, I didn't get anything from it. It's kind of fun seeing Tristan, but again, like, he's in a relationship now, and again, there's zero conflict or anything in this relationship. Like, it's just this fairy tale bullshit romanticized image of what a relationship is. I don't know if the people creating this have been in many relationships, but there's always issues. So I would rather be talking about that. It's more interesting. But yeah, I mean, this road trip had a lot more kissing though. Yeah, whatever, man. I just roll my eyes at it. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, and then we got this panel here, and like they're kissing in public, and everybody's watching, like, ooh yeah. That's PDA, public displays of affection. Most people find them annoying. Pretty much everybody finds it annoying. And you know, they're not watching on like, ooh. If anything, they'd be like, okay, so we're in our own conversation now. We're just gonna pretend they're not doing that. Everybody agrees that PDA is annoying, except for the people doing it. And even the people doing it, if they see other people doing it, they would probably agree that it's annoying. So, you know, this reaction here is like, yeah, I guess maybe that's supposed to be the fans, like, yay, they're together. But again, I'm a fan. I like seeing them together, and it's not doing anything for me. So it can't be just me, is what I'm saying. I'm a huge fan. I love Max and Chloe. I just would have liked to see a more earnest portrayal of their relationship, and I don't think that we got that here. So that's my opinion on it, guys. And we get this speech, and it's blah blah blah. You know, I mean, I guess it's a nice speech in the candlelight vigil, but at the same time, bro, you caused this, okay? You were the one who killed. I don't want to hear about how great this community is from the person who could have stopped it from getting destroyed. There is no guilt. There's not even a thought that, hey, I could have probably saved these people. There's no struggle with her, the consequences of her decision making. There is no growth in this character at all. In fact, she seems to think so highly of her own wisdom. I thought this comic series would be dealing with the consequences of destroying Arcadia Bay, but it seems like they don't take any responsibility for it whatsoever. So the message of this comic series seems to be, yeah, sure, kill a whole town full of people. As long as you're with the one you love, who cares? It's very selfish and not realistic. And I'm actually, like, the more I think about it, the more disappointing it is. So I like the art, though. The artist, killing it. Colorist, doing good too. So it's not all bad, you know. I said in previous reviews that as long as the art is good, I'm on board. But you know, I'm kind of getting past that. It's not enough for me. And then we get the true colors thing, and it is exactly the meme that I thought it would be. And you know, she's having this deep philosophical conversation with a stranger, even though she's awkward at this point and doesn't even, like, can't even handle her brother giving her a hug when she gets off of this bus in the game. Like, he gives her a hug and she winces. And yet she's having all these deep conversations with people and trying to solve their problems. Yeah, that's very realistic. And I don't know, dude. I'm just saying, though, I don't care about this, but like, does literally every character in this series need to be gay? It's just not statistically proportional, you know. I don't have an issue with that. I'm just throwing that out there. But that's pretty much my review. So they say it says the end for now down here, but there's no mention of a release date or anything. So I'm thinking that that's like hopeful, and it will be determined depending on how well this sells and stuff and how well the volumes do. So, you know, honestly, I'm not really sure if I really want to see more. I really, if they do more, they really have to deal with some of the deeper philosophical stuff that I was talking about. And yeah, I mean, here she's talking about the sacrifices made. Bitch, you're the one that made the sacrifice. You sacrificed everybody for Chloe. And you don't deal with that at all. Okay, at this point, I'm repeating myself. I'm ranting a little bit. And we've got another video coming up today that I gotta do. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. Hit the like if you like. And definitely sub for more Life is Strange content. We are covering the remastered collection and the patches and stuff. So if you want to see the goings on with the remastered collection and any future games in the series that are announced, I will definitely cover on this channel. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Life is Strange coverage. And with that, it's been your boy Shuggy, and I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.